Okay, on the last video, we have looked at the console. So had a quick overview of where things are in the console, but of course there is still a lot more. And those actually specific nodes, we are going to start looking at them when we have that specific role. So that specific task. And in today's video, what I want to talk about is upgrading Configuration Manager to the latest version. Of course, we did install the latest version. There was a reason. And if I bring you to the documentation, we can see here updates and servicing for Configuration Manager. So this does explain a little bit about the whole updates in Configuration Manager process, but we have two different versions. Version 1, baseline, version 2, updated version. So the baseline is the version, of course, before we go, the baseline also can be a updated version, and we are going to talk about that shortly. But the baseline is a version of Configuration Manager that is going to be able to download from the internet, Microsoft Volume license, evaluation, that's a full ISO. Also, all the features going to be, or not all, many of the features will be enabled by default. You don't have the option for majority of the new features to enable or disable because it's baseline, everything is enabled. On the second one, you have the updated version that you need to use the Configuration Manager or installed Configuration Manager to go to that version. So on our environment here, the baseline is 2103. To go to 2111 or 2107, because those are not baseline, I need to install 2103 before upgrading. If I have, for example, 2010, I could go via the console and upgrade it to 2103, 2107, and 2111 without any problem. So if you have a Configuration Manager, you can actually continue the upgrade process. But if you don't have anything, you need to start from the baseline, and the baseline is normally released once a year, and normally is the 03 version. It's not always the case, but majority, the last few actually, as far as I remember, it was like that. But if I scroll down here, it shows all the versions and what is the baseline we have currently. So we have, for example, 2111, if it's a baseline or if it's the console update. So you can see the only baseline we have is 2103. But also can also be do a in-console update. So this is quite simple, straightforward. You have the baseline that you have the CD, DVD, and the others you don't have. So you need to have a Configuration Manager to be able to install. And before we actually talk about do the in-place upgrade or in-console updates, there is this another documentation, install in-console updates for Configuration Manager. It actually talks about the whole process of installing Configuration Manager through the console, what's the steps, and so on and so forth. We are going to see some of those in today's video. And the last one, because it's a new installation of Configuration Manager, things may have changed. For example, new requirements or new features or features that no longer supported or exist and stuff like that. So this is actually the checklist for 2111, and it talks here about everything that has changed, everything that we need to look at for the new version. For example, let's say the new version only supports .NET 4. Whatever the version may be. So this is where you're going to see this information. Okay, so in your Configuration Manager, I already opened the Configuration Manager here, where I'm going to do the update. Updates are part of the administration node or administration workspace. So I'm going to administration, and here there is a node for updates and servicing. I'm just going to click there, and you can see here there are lots of updates. The updates normally they are automatically downloaded, and if they are not, then you can actually just click on the button here to download. For example, the first one is a hotfix for 2103. The second one, 2107, and the third one that you can see here, the status says ready to install, is a 2111. So all the files that required already been downloaded. But where those files are downloaded? So if we go where we install the configuration manager, in our case on the D, program files, configuration manager, there is a easy setup payload folder, and we can see here there is a folder with a ID. And this folder you can see here is about 3 gig in size, 2.83 gig in size. And if you just open, we can see here that is basically the DVD of the configuration manager. The download is about 950 megabytes. But how do I know that this is the guy I'm looking for? Because if I'm going back to the console and add a new column, package ID, you can see here the package ID for that one is 44CE. If I go back to the folder structure, 44CE. So I know that is exactly the same. So I know that this is the one I want to install, and that's the files. If the files got corrupted or something like that, we are going to have a troubleshooting video later on. But what I want to show you, this is the first part of this big video. What we need to do before installing configuration manager updates. So the same location we have here, hotfixes and a new full installation. But before we click on the buttons, like the video, share with your friends, co-workers, so everyone knows more about configuration manager. And if you are not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you will be notified every time there is a new content. And that's free, so why not do? Just do it now. And if you have any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. And if you have any questions, just remember to use the hashtag #AskRaphael, so it's easy for me to find where your question is and answer. Okay, so go back to the video here. If I need to upgrade the configuration manager, the first thing I'm going to do is run the pre-requirements check. So we can see here there is a button, prerequisite check, or you right click and run prerequisite check. Going to do that. And now you can see the state has changed and where I can see what's happening. So if you go to the monitoring node, so if you want to check what things, how they are, just go there, monitoring. And you can also use here, show status on the related objects. But let's go to the monitoring. And if you scroll down here, you have updates and servicing status. And of course, we can see here 2 options there, but 2111 is not there yet. It does take, of course, a few seconds, a few minutes. Hopefully it will not take longer. Yeah, it takes longer than I expected. Of course, this is a lab environment. Your environment may be much, much faster. While it is still not showing, it would be a good time for you to share your content with your friends. Why not put everyone to learn about configuration manager? Because again, device management, this is the best solution to manage any Microsoft device out there. Okay, so 2111 just appeared in the list. You can see here the current status is replicating content, but if you just select and click show status or right click, it shows you where configuration manager is in the whole process. So the first one is download. Okay, we already downloaded the software. The second one, there is a replication. Then it will later on start doing all the pre-requirement checks. And if there is something wrong, it will tell you what is wrong here on this list. So for example, if you are running 2012, or if you are not running a correct version of .NET, or if you are whatever it may be, it will show you here in the list. And you can see here is a massive list of validations Configuration Manager will check. And I will just let it run. It will take probably about 10 to 15 minutes to run the whole pre-requirement check in this environment. In your environment it may take longer, so it depends on, again, the speed of your environment, the VMs, for example, or physical machines, network, and so on and so forth. But what I want to show you today is what I need to do if there is a problem. So let's see if we are going to find any problem and how to fix them after we encounter them. I will see you shortly. Okay, so Configuration Manager now finished the prior requirement check. You can see here, download, replica, and then did something on the installation that was just extracting the file, and then run the prior requirement check. You can see here there are few problems. The first one is talk about .NET 4.8. We have .NET 4.7.2. It's talking about, here if you scroll down, SQL performance issue, and also HTTP and enhanced HTTP options. So all three are problem. The last one we are not going to fix as yet. So this HTTPS or enhanced HTTP we are not going to fix right now. And the information is here just to tell you there is a problem. If we go down on the documentation, you can see here where we need to go. It will tell you exactly what is happening, but basically HTTP is being deprecated, and then we need to enable enhanced HTTP or migrate to HTTPS environment. We are going to do this as soon as we start actually playing around with Configuration Manager. Performance, well, it's a lab environment. I'm okay with a problem with the performance. And of course, I know about this. And the last one is .NET 4.8, that we are using .NET 4.7 is just saying that latest version of Configuration Manager will require 4.8. So what we are going to do, let's upgrade Configuration Manager, .NET on all servers for the 4.8. But it's not going to be on this video. We are going to do on the next video, all servers we are going to upgrade for .NET 4.8. And while you are waiting for the next video, remember, like this video if you actually like the video, or dislike if you don't like. Leave your comments, your questions on the comment section below. If it's a question, just remember to use the hashtag #AskRaphael. Share with your friends and co-work if you think it's important for them to know. And I believe everyone should know more about Configuration Manager if they are interested on the Endpoint Manager solutions. And also, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click that little bell icon so you will be notified when we upload a new content, and it's free. All those things are free, so you should do this now. Okay, for the next video, we will start fixing the problems, and I will see you over there.